two main things are protecting the capital and generating income. Anyone who gets a lump of money, it's always like, right, I've got to go and stick 200 grand into Bitcoin. I've got to go and put 500 grand into this scheme. And it's all
the Ponzi's.
Yeah, either Ponzi's or just insane levels of risk that are very inappropriate. A million's a lot of money, and it's also not a lot of money when you say you're 30, 34, 30, 33 years old, and you've got to get through the rest of your life with it. So first of all, you've got to make sure you don't lose it, and secondly, people really, I guess, underestimate the power of the income. I'll say their words. Are you investing now, what with fighting being such a short career?
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about now, isn't it, Matt? Yeah. Made some good investments. Just bought a property here. Going to be investing in somebody yourself, moving the money around, and I feel like I've got good people around me. I mean, if I'd have earned this money and not known people like yourselves and been in Manchester, I think it would have been a lot more difficult. But I feel like being in Dubai, you're around successful, motivated, hungry people that have been there where you are, and they know how to help you in this position. So I feel like the circle that I'm in is a very positive one, and I think that even though it's a mill, I think it can be turned over quite well with the information that I'm getting.
Well, I think the thing I'll say on this is I feel like I can finally chip in on something, because hosting a fighting conversation isn't really my forte. But what we've talked about, and I think what applies to it, to anyone from sport or who gets a lump outside the money, a lump of money outside their core business, like I was saying to you, is the two main things are protecting the capital and generating income. And everybody gets a lump of money. Well, I mean, everyone gets a lump of money, but anyone who gets a lump of money, it's always like, right, I've got to go and stick 200 grand into Bitcoin. I've got to go and put 500 grand into this scheme. And it's all
the Ponzi's.
Yeah, either Ponzi's or just insane levels of risk that are very inappropriate. And a million's a lot of money, and it's also not a lot of money when you say you're 30, 34, 30, 33 years old, and you've got to get through the rest of your life with it. And so first of all, you've got to make sure you don't lose it, and secondly, just people really, I guess, underestimate the power of the income. And I think what we talked about with you, especially still having another couple of years fighting in you, is about not doing anything stupid with that money, to protect it and get a nice level of return. Not looking for doubling it next year or tripling it up with some crazy Bitcoin or crypto that could make it go to nothing. But go and get a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11% return off that. Get 50, 80, 100 grand a year, nice solid income. Where your capital's protected, and where it's paying all your bills, it's taking all the pressure off you. Because ultimately that's what having money's about. Reducing pressure, providing freedom, and then allowing you the flexibility to go back to fight, then try and earn another big lump of money. Because again, your skill. And it's not doing you any disrespect. Your skill is not making money from finance. Your skill is making money from fighting. So the big mistake people typically in your position make is to go out and do wild shit with the money.
Buy Ferraris
either buy Ferraris or invest it in stuff that they just don't understand, or let people who shouldn't be anywhere near the money do it, and go and just go and nail the lots. You can be in a fantastic position now, house paid for, nice income coming in, and giving you the headspace to go and earn another mil next year, another couple of mil over the next few years. And all of a sudden, in another 2 years' time, the difference between having a mil and say having 4 mil is night and day, black and white. And then
they say it's easy from here, Matt. Is it true? Once you get the first one?
Well, I'd say, listen, it's definitely easier, because ultimately it's not about the money, it's about the compounding, the compounding of knowledge, the compounding of information, the compounding of what you've already got. And I guess you can probably find an analogy to that yourself in fighting, that, I don't know, getting your first punch is the hardest, or taking your first punch is the hardest, and as time goes on, you get more immune to that, or once you've I don't know, when you've run your first mile, the second, third, fourth, fifth are easier because you've got the basics. And ultimately, growth and success in anything is just, it's not one quick big hit. It's the compounding of the little things time and time again. So when I know, when I lost all my money, let's say in 2008, I was never, I'm not going to say I was never worried about losing it, but I was kind of relaxed when I came out of it because I knew everything I'd already done to make it the first time around, and I can go and make it again, a lot quicker, because I can sidestep all the mistakes. It's like, you've taking your foot off the pedal now from the training. But when you start again, you've already got that underlying level of conditioning in your body.
Always.
You already know the things that work good for you and don't work good for you. So you know you can probably take 3, 4, 5, 6 months off or running slowly, and then go and in a month be back in the shape of your life again.
Exactly.
You know, I think I mean, there's always analogies between sport and business, but I think these are very pertinent for now.